The holidays are a time of celebration, thanksgiving, and reflection, and eating for many. A little bit of overindulging here and there won't hurt, but if you have diabetes, doing those things can cause damage long term. So our goal for coming together is just to share with you some tips on how to navigate through the holidays when you have diabetes. So our first tip we would encourage you is to eat before you eat. And what do I mean about that? Eat before you eat. Let the holiday be a regular day for you. Don't skip breakfast and lunch to save up so that you can overindulge for that holiday dinner. Have your normal breakfast and lunch that you would have according to your meal plan if you have diabetes, so that when dinner time comes, you're not hungry and overeat on those indulgent foods. The second tip, we would encourage you to take a walk. If you have that holiday dinner early in the day, take some time when you're coming together as a family to take a walk together so that you can walk off some of those extra calories that you did indulge in during dinner. The third thing we would encourage you to remember is that moderation is the key. Having diabetes doesn't mean that you can't enjoy good food. As a matter of fact, our motto is that life can still be sweet with diabetes. So you can eat the foods that your family normally enjoys for the holidays. We just recommend that you do all things in moderation. And the last tip, which is going to cover what our topic is about today, is to sub it out. What we mean by that is you can have really good desserts, but you can make healthy substitutions for that dessert that won't have a great impact on your blood sugar, but still enjoy a delicious dessert. And Liz is going to help us with that today.
Today we'll be doing a recipe for tiramisu. Has mascarpone cheese, and although mascarpone cheese is very delicious, it is about 80% all saturated fat. So today what we'll be doing, instead of using mascarpone cheese, we'll be using Philadelphia cream cheese, the light version that has about 1/3 of the fat that the mascarpone cheese has. And also the other substitution we'll be making is, instead of the heavy cream in the tiramisu, we'll be using Cool Whip, the light version. We'll start off with some warm water, and we'll be making some coffee to use in between our layers of the tiramisu, and we want to use 1 teaspoon of coffee, instant coffee, to about 6 ounces of water. If you have a problem with caffeine, you can always use decaf instant coffee. Once we have that, we'll put that aside. The next step, we're gonna start with sugar-free pudding mix, and then it calls for 1 cup of cold water. So we'll take our measuring cup. The next ingredient here will be half a cup of confectionery sugar, also known as icing sugar. Once we have this, we just mix it. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator for 20 minutes and get another one that we have ready. So we have one ready here. It's been chilled. We're gonna be adding 12 ounces of cream cheese. What's next is the Cool Whip. And Cool Whip comes in light, which is, lower in fat, and there's also sugar-free. So now that we have this all together, we will start. You can either do individual ones or use a bowl. And of course, what makes tiramisu is, lady fingers. Put a little bit of, depending on the size of your bowl. This is, a good time to, be creative. There. And then we can drizzle some coffee. So once you've, layered it, and we want to take some cocoa powder, and cocoa powder, unlike chocolate, it has no fat in it. It's just, the cocoa part of the cocoa bean. If you have one of these little sieves at home, so that it's, you'll see.
Oh, look at that.
Today we have a lightened version of the tiramisu, but still tasty and wonderful for the holidays.
That does not look like we're saving 500 calories. That's an awesome dessert. Well, that's our main tip for today. We can still live a sweet life with diabetes, and this recipe proves it.